Hey, welcome back to Whitetail Garage. In a previous episode, I did the unboxing, and then in another episode, I did the install of the A1000 fuel system from Aeromotive, the stealth kit for the Fox Body Mustang. Today, I'm going to wire up the fuel pump and finish up the install. I'll link to those two videos up top, as well as in the description. Here's how it was wired the last time, right? So we're coming from what was originally driving the fuel pump from the factory, which is that black wire with the pink tracer, I think, or it's pink with a black tracer, one of the two. And then this side was off to running the pump before, right? So just coming from the factory signal. However, this is hot all the way to under the driver's seat. So I'm thinking it makes more sense to grab the tan with a green tracer, which is a signal wire from the computer, and it's a ground, and running this ground all the way back, and then just taking the fuel pump relay out. That's just another point of failure that I don't need, right? I don't need this fuel pump relay because I don't want the inertia switch or any of the other stuff that's in line to control the fuel pump. I just want the signal from the computer. So I think I'm going to grab this guy and run it to the back, and then just leave this completely disconnected. And then I have hot up to here because the orange to blue, orange with a blue tracer is a hot wire, but the pink with a black tracer, this guy, is what runs all the way to the back and would normally drive that other wire. So by cutting this out, and actually, here's what I'm going to do. Actually. I just thought of this. I'm going to cut both of these, and then I'm just going to tie them together out here. And so that way this tan wire then drives the pink with a black tracer all the way to the back. And then I don't even have to route the wire. It's nice and hidden in the harness as it was before, but I'm running ground through it. That's what I'm going to do. Taking a look at the diagram, you'll see that you have your factory signal wire to the fuel pump coming in here as a positive, and then the other side is grounded. Then from the battery to a breaker to one side of the relay, then out the relay to the fuel pump. I've changed mine slightly, right? Like I said, I am using the signal from the computer, which is going to be a ground signal, which means we're taking care of this here, and we need to provide 12 volts. So what I've done here is this will come from the battery safety cutoff switch through the breaker, and then this will go to the relay, and then this will piggyback the relay on the other side. So I'll show you once I get it in. Got the battery bolted down, about to plug it in for the last time. You gonna help out? No? Okay. Alright, so that's what I did. Just like I said, I just ran these two wires together out of the harness because the tan with the green tracer is the signal from the computer, and then the pink and black is typically coming from this relay going to the back and driving it. So, and I'm grabbing the pink and black and running that ground signal back through the harness into the back. So if we walk back to the back, so you could see that, hard to see, there it is, that pink wire underneath here, that's driving the ground side of this solenoid. Then from the switch side, so this one is straight to the battery, this one is the switch, right? So from the switch side, I've got through the breaker, just like I showed, and then I'm teeing right off of that breaker to get the hot side of the solenoid. And then this guy goes to the fuel pump, and then you can see back behind all that is grounded right there. That's the ground to the fuel pump. The fuel pump wiring that I did, it didn't work out correctly. I used the diagram that I'm showing now. I got it from veryuseful.com. It's created by TMOS. I don't know if that's, I don't know who I should credit for that. I'll link to the Very Useful. There's a lot of good diagrams there from TMOS. I'll put that down in the description. But using that diagram, which seems pretty accurate with everything that I can trace, that's where I came up with the idea to drive the fuel pump that way. I mean, you could see the other side where you've got red and black that runs the computer. That's controlling a bunch of stuff. So I don't think that is what's controlling the fuel pump relay, and the other side being solid ground, but maybe that's the case. But you've got all that other power that's coming off of it, so that doesn't make any sense. Where you've got, you know, fuel canister purge and injector power and EGR vac reg power, all that stuff, the MAF power, all that stuff is receiving power constantly. So it doesn't make any sense for that to be controlling the fuel pump. So the other side must be, and for it to get a solid signal or solid ground, either I'm misunderstanding the way that that signal is sent, or it's grounded out somewhere and is just providing a solid signal. So, all right, well, after researching it a bunch, I figured out what the issue is with the fuel pump wiring. The pink with the black tracer in this diagram just goes straight to the fuel pump. That's not reality. It took finding another diagram like this one, or like this one, where the pink with the black tracer not only runs to the fuel pump, but it also provides a signal back to the computer to tell the computer that the fuel pump has power. And so with that missing, I think that is doing something to the fuel pump signal, the ground coming from the computer as well. I'm not sure. So I know I had kind of the stance that I wanted to eliminate as much of the single points of failures as I could in the system by getting rid of the, you know, the stock fuel pump relay and all of that old wiring in the harness. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it to the way Aeromotive suggests you install it, which is you're just grabbing that signal wire that used to run the factory fuel pump in the back and having it drive the relay in the back. So go ahead and do that, and that gets the computer back control of the fuel pump. That way it's only running when it's supposed to run. And then I'll look for, you know, maybe another alternative another time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that squared away. Pretty easy fix. I just had to go back and just had to put the wiring back the way it was at the fuel pump relay under the seat, and used heat shrink and end butt connectors there. So hopefully no issues will arise from that. Not ideal, but I didn't feel like soldering it or anything. It should work. And then in the back, I'm just going to pull that the one signal wire that I did have bridged to power. I will take that out, swap it out with just this guy, and run it to ground. So, all right, just to show the work completed here. Here's the, you know, tan with the green tracer, pink with the black tracer, connected back. Going to keep the fuel pump relay, the factory one, installed. So again, this is the ground signal from the computer, and then this is the signal to this is the actual power to the stock fuel pump, but it also tees off somewhere in the harness and signals the computer that the fuel pump has power. That was missing from my understanding. When I tried to pull this wire, I was unaware that the computer got a signal back saying that it has in fact powered the fuel pump. So that's back to normal. Everything's good there. That'll stay under the seat. And then back here in the back, what I've done is just taken this ground wire, tied it in that same spot where the A1000 is grounded out, and then that bridged power, I just put some heat shrink on the end of that connector rather than cut the wire or remake it. So that'll dangle here in case I ever need power instead of ground there. All right, guys, well, that's where I'm going to end it right there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. You can help me out? Put the interior back in?